And a stroller. Thanks so much.
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
So I can't get that counter.
understandable. I was gonna ask you, do you,
Hello. Hi, Earl.
so I heard that, for April, they're changing the hay bale and
It smells like food.
so it's on,
Oh.
Amazon page for the.
I don't know, it says welcome Monday movies, so we sit there.
Yeah, and I just really want information. Really anything on now. I have that one.
Okay, well, it doesn't mention anything about that.
Nor does her autobiography. I know this information is somewhere. I'll find it.
Or I say it's not true, but it's normally
It's likely, right? It's kind of
Oh,
so.
You know, she's
Yeah.
got.
Now I should go out and work
Oh,
on my
my
yard.
point, I've done for this.
Now I should go out and work on my yard.
Oh.
It's all wet now.
Yeah, it's been hard to do.
I haven't been doing it.
I know. I can take the heat a little bit, but man, it's just too much.
That's a great
You
idea.
had to go down much?
No, not as much as we'd like to.
But,
Not as
I
much
think
as
the
we
rains,
we
it's so much
usually
going
do.
down. It's a public place. I will look that up.
And maybe I call them and they have.
Is there anybody not
I
coming?
didn't have to forget.
Didn't hear anybody. I mean, okay, so these are Bill, yeah, yeah. I don't know if we want do the full 2 hours or see how it goes or we home.
Hopefully not. Well, if it means getting
To
done.
get mine, yeah. Great. Yeah, I don't have my Bible.
Oh, you don't?
I
I would have more than one time.
Yes, I do. I have it. I know you made a copy for, Bill and Kelly. That's what I was trying to call you to see, what, why you had
Well,
those
except that
for
one got
them. I
like
knew there
covered in a
was
similar.
something,
And they roll
like,
like.
is it something different on the website?
It was just on the back, it had the
Oh,
amendments.
oh, that's right, okay.
My copy here doesn't
All right.
have that, but,
Because I was trying to find it, and I'm like, I don't see anything different, but,
that's all. There was just some amendments.
oh, okay.
Um,
So, yeah, I printed both of them, so I could like, what's different, what's different, but it was just this, right?
I was just gonna ask if Kelly would go get the policy.
Mhm. Yeah. But the bylaws aren't in it, they already have, they already have that, so it's good.
I never used to pay attention to that. It's a good thing.
Yes, for the oil problem.
And they do this thing for $200 and some dollars because they do that. If not, they
Hi.
gotta tear the engine apart.
Oh, no.
I'm praying that it's
Yeah.
fixed. It's inexpensive.
I.
Hello, Carol.
Yeah, and they didn't say they wouldn't be here, so. So I was looking,
Well, look at the back of my head, I got wet when I went out to close the windows in the car.
Storm stopped just in time for me to get in my car, so I was happy about that. I'm just waiting for two more board members. You hear from either of them?
I'm getting older, I need reading glasses, doggone. I never needed them before.
How are you today? Wonderful.
It's so busy out there. Like I've never just sat and watched how busy the library is during the day.
You should come on it Thursday with lunch on the lawn.
Right.
Water over the road.
I've never seen it so bad.
What was it?
Get
Water.
That
That was the
Oh.
nicest thing, I really enjoyed that.
I wonder why.
Doing it
Well,
this
it came down real
Watching
hard.
the
Right,
families.
and I heard it did, like,
Families.
It got really hard rain. I was gone Thursday and part of Friday. I heard we had a really hard rain then.
Yesterday, I mean, that conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe I had all one house probably burned down for on that road. Might be a low spot here.
This person
Yeah,
was a librarian.
And we've been noticing there's a lot of police sitting
Sitting
around.
to the
I
brand.
mean, waiting to catch
And then
people
worked
in
in
school.
library.
by Walmart.
So very well,
Anywhere.
very interested.
Different.
But can only help behind the scenes
Did you
because
heard about that?
in situations. Yeah, so it was a very, very nice conversation. And maybe I had that last fall.
Short one today.
She was I think she was
Oh, okay. Oh, down that way.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful.
Come on, boys.
And I'm texting. Let's see.
How long do you wait?
Oh, I don't know. This is
I've never had to wait before, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it was college and after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No
I
free
don't know.
pizzas here.
Yeah.
That's what I got when I was in college.
Oh,
Free pizza after 30 minutes. So everybody would go home from a event and order pizza. And only the first few had to pay.
Excuse me.
Somebody over there.
So this isn't your first committee,
We had one, as I said, at the board meeting.
just
And then, yeah, and it was just to, reintroduce everybody, Bill and, Kelly are not board members, so I supplied them with the bylaws and then they have a policy book. We kind of talked about when we can meet, trying to come up with because of all the different schedules and just housekeeping stuff.
I was about to train, so I thought, for sure, I get here and you guys have already been started, so
They saved me.
You what?
I caught the train.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, I see.
I'm zipping along going, no, red flashing lights.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Rick got caught going this way. He had like two lanes, people were in
Right.
the middle of
Because
the
of the
intersection.
jeans, yes.
The guy put in the middle of the intersection.
I knew I was gonna get caught. It seems
Well,
like
let's
this
wait
time
and
of
see.
day, I frequently, if I
Oh,
come
did
to town.
somebody call
Yeah,
us?
I just
She
sent
texted
them,
them.
I sent them both.
There's a way to
texts.
find out the train schedule.
Because I don't know, since we're starting to
I
go
could listen,
through
I'm
things, I'd
really close.
rather everybody be here.
And then you have to determine which way
So we
to
won't backtrack. Do it again.
Right there, now we've got whole signs.
Or make any changes that
We need train spotters.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
My uncle was here.
started an ongoing job.
Visitor.
Business.
26 trains.
And then he's also plumbing, so today, yep, he's been, well, that's my husband,
That's true.
yeah, he's a steam fitter by
That
trade.
sounds like our.
So,
budget.
so he's a plumber pipe fitter well.
The properties beyond ours,
So
there's
they-
a driveway to get to their homes. And I put a camera up this year.
It's a new build, so they.
One day I just counted how many trips in and out on a weekend, and there were 44 trips in and out.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
And these people wonder
Well, he
why
didn't wanna
it
be, so he could have actually,
doesn't- Sorry,
applied
it's,
to try to get into.
it was meant to be some
This
of those
doesn't
homes were
look
all
like
meant to be
70s.
summer homes. People came only during summer.
He's going to college.
You know, they weren't.
I told him, well, you can
trucks,
either
garbage trucks, FedEx trucks.
go, which he's been a lifeguard for the county for the last, since he's 15.
Exactly.
So he's been working at Trinity and,
Nice.
General Squire. More, he likes Trinity better, but then last year he had to work at General Squire because Trinity wasn't open. And so then I told him, I said, well, either you need to find a full-time job or a regular job, or you can start one on your own. So he started it on his own.
Nice.
Nobody responded, but I love that flip.
I like your flip phone.
Oh, yeah, it's not that great,
It
really.
was so hard to give up my old flip phone.
Yeah.
To have them back again. Good things always come around again.
Mhm. Yeah, it goes in cycles, just like clothes. Now everybody's wearing 1970 clothes, you
Some of us are still wearing.
know.
I wish I could still wear it.
But then they were well made, they're still there.
Well, this is yours. Yeah, I just, Kara made those up for you and Bill. I don't think the bylaws are in here, but you
Did you let her
had,
know the bylaws on the website or not? Up to date?
well, I needed to find out what was different, and Carol said what was different is the missing on the information on the
Yeah,
back.
I think the last one says
Okay.
like the major revision is 2019. I don't think it shows 21, 22, or 20, or 24 on the
that the-
website.
Is that the only difference?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it would,
But
you know, because it
everything
says
else-
committee description in 21 was revamped. August meeting exclusion in 23 was revamped, and then committee description in 24. So, because the ones I pulled off the website were not up to date.
Okay,
That's why we ended up with these ones.
right, so, yeah,
But I
I,
didn't add this to mine.
yeah, I wasn't sure if there was anything else, so I did not ask her to change that. But in the
She
front,
should have a set of updated, so she could just scan and download and put it on.
right, yeah, but I don't think she included bylaws in here
I just
for
put-
you, but you have
Yeah,
yours,
and I
so. But I did give you the two motions that passed at the board meeting.
Oh, no, there is bylaws. Oh, this is the, okay.
That's for
So
me.
You did that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gave you the two that passed and the one that failed. Told the board member that I would share it with the committee, and something we could revisit and look at when we get to that part. So that's why that's in there too.
Any response from the other side?
No. No. Oh, what do you guys want to do?
text don't always go through,
Yeah.
especially when you don't push the button right, I'm famous for that.
I think I said it. No, I never did.
My daughter's like, you never responded, I said, yes, I did, maybe I didn't send it.
How's your voice, Susan? Much better, thank you. She's back to her normal self. Another horse that had the same thing 2 or 3 summers ago. And
Hey,
he was a
Bill.
little sicker. He took a couple more
It's
treatments,
Peggy,
but
we
she
were
was
just wondering if you were gonna make it to the meeting,
And they're vaccinated against
the
jaundice.
policy and bylaw ad hoc.
Maybe
committee
made them a little less sick. But
It did, then we made it for today at 3:30. Well, cause,
oops.
no, that was, you're thinking of Friday, like the 25th that we talked about, but not everybody could make it to that one. Okay, all right, well, thank you. All right, bye. No, he thought it was Friday.
And I used Friday too because you guys weren't there Friday.
Maybe he thought it was
This
coming
coming
Friday, I don't know.
That's the first.
And that's August.
I don't think he approved that.
Did that work out doing it that way?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess, I thought it did.
Yeah.
This was the day that everybody said that they could do it, so that's what we ran with.
Hello?
Have a great day.
So, what do you guys wanna do?
Well,
There it is.
let's see.
Hey, John. Hey, are you gonna make it to the meeting? Okay. Oh, okay, all right. Well. Yep, that's what I was looking for, but, okay. Well, we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye. Nope. So, just 3 of us.
He remembered though. He just got.
He did, yeah, he said he got called in unexpectedly, sure. So, alright. So I'm gonna give you that. This is, what I came up with as far as like describing our committee and what we will be doing. I know that, the meeting is open to the public. There's really, as far as my understanding, there's no interaction, no public time, but, since we are being filmed and I just want to read to you what I gave to the board members, or committee members. Lapeer District Library, Policy and Bylaw Ad Hoc Committee, that's who we are. The committee will review current library bylaws and policies. The committee serves as an advisory committee only. Any recommendations, changes, additions, or deletions to the current policies and bylaws by this committee will be brought first to the LDL Corporate Council for legal review, and then to the full board. This ad hoc committee does not have decision-making authority and will function as an advisory committee only. So I just wanted to state that publicly in the event that, your video is shared, taken out of context. If we're talking about something, just know that there are no decision-making being done here, so. And that's all I wanted to say about that. And then
Thank you, Penny.
make sure that this gets into vice folder. Is there anything you guys wanted to add to that?
That pretty much sums it up.
Okay. Is this day and time good for you guys? Like if we meet regularly,
Every
Or-
time, every week is different for me. So
Okay.
like the end of this week is a terrible week for us. We
Okay.
Do the bus radio. And
okay,
I have regional meeting on Wednesday, so every day is different
Okay.
in the week, so I think just keeping, maybe doing that doodle poll
Mhm.
and then, posting it that way is probably gonna be,
Okay,
maybe just give days, I know you would look to see when the library, this room was open,
mhm,
maybe getting those days and then I just plug, whatever your
Right.
availability is.
right,
And then I just plug them into that doodle
Okay.
poll, so that way.
because Kara, if she puts it in as a library event, then it automatically posts to the website. I just need to make sure that if we're switching, meeting on different days, that we're giving the proper notice to
Right.
the public, so
Right.
just, that's the only reason. I think it's, if we're meeting the same day and time, I think it's a different procedure, but I'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
So that-
It's not, wouldn't be a recurring meeting.
Right.
But I think it can be posted.
Yeah, we'll make sure we figure that out. Right, so, as I said, the objective is to just go through the policies and bylaws, and, we did just have some revisions to the bylaws that were, voted on, they were passed, so, so I guess we'll
And where-
start.
Should we plunk those in too, because they're not added in the ones that I have. So where were they
Right.
actually, I would rather go from the very beginning, but while we're doing it, I don't wanna miss it, so.
Well, when we get to that, well, the one that I told you that didn't pass, that's, an actual policy.
Oh,
A suggested change to the policy.
policy, not
So
to
we,
the-
so we won't come across that. And then the other one is an addition to the agenda. So that would come, I guess,
I'm sorry, under section
where the
5.
section, yeah. And then I would imagine there's going to be verbiage to go along with that. I'm sure there'll probably be a section added to it, but I don't know when that will happen and if there's a time frame or.
Is it still gonna be under 5 or is it a standalone section? Do you know?
I do not know.
All right, well then let's
We could
work with
find-
what we have and then.
Yeah, we can find that out, though, that's a good question. I'll write it down, so to find out where the, and then also like the time frame.
Should actually be something to voted on, I think, unless the bylaws state something different, usually it would be in the next meeting, that would be how, because it was just the order of the agenda, correct? How that was put in.
Right, but there is, if you look at it, there is verbiage that goes along with it as far as, like if there's a special meeting or.
Right, that's added to here as well,
Yeah, so I would imagine there would be some
addition to that.
some addition to it, yeah.
I would imagine that's probably gonna stay then in 5, but I'll just make that additional verbiage in there as well, so.
Okay. So, yeah, so by the time we get to that, we probably will have our answer.
Yeah.
Because that comes a little bit later.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so, I guess we'll just start line by line. I think that we had already, noticed on the bylaws the last time it was revised.
Yeah, last time
Major
was fine.
revisions were 2019. And then with a, revision in 2021,
None into 2022.
2023, and 2024. Yeah. So, sounds like it's been a while since they've been looked at real closely. So, Article 1, establishment and purpose of the bylaws. Want to read section 1 and let me know if there's any thoughts, suggestions?
I think that's just the standard of how it was established, so
Mhm.
I think that's.
So there's really nothing we could do with that.
Um,
Section 2, bylaws annual review.
Should be reviewed annually. And it says they should be, so if they weren't, like, see in 2022, they weren't, it's not like it's devastation.
Okay,
It's just a good practice, so I think that's the way that shows, where it says bylaws should be reviewed. That's the recommendation.
Somewhere else it stated that the annual meeting, which is the January meeting, doesn't really say that right here, somewhere it does. Unless it's in our policy.
should we recommend that that's expanded then? To,
Was that in the policies then?
Annual meeting should be like January, such organization members.
Will be required, but that's just as far as.
Annual meeting.
Carol, did
Maybe
you know
I'm
that it
wrong.
referenced anything about the
I could be
bylaws?
This, under annual meeting, it says, the annual meeting of the library board shall be the regular meeting in January. We may be getting that confused.
oh, okay,
No, I say leave it as is, because then it's just, with saying should, that gives it a recommendation, it's a high recommendation that it should happen. But if it doesn't, it's not like it's something you know, haven't done
Violating
something
the
that's
bylaw.
violation of
okay.
the actual bylaws.
All right, I'm gonna just make notes, so when, at the next meeting, when Bill and John are going through here, we can kind of talk about what we do that.
Mine's usually pretty colorful.
So no thoughts on any recommendations for section 2?
No, I think that's good. I don't think it's good to make it mandatory just in case something happened.
I
The fact that it
Like
could
not having a January meeting, because we
Right.
didn't have a January meeting.
Right.
So, okay,
And technically, to me, like the bylaw should be looked at starting, you know, like, I'm gonna say, like September, at least the year before. If we're going to do it for that year, to have them approved in that January meeting, if that's what the goal is. Because then that way your committee has got time to look over everything. Because again, it's everybody's schedule.
Right.
They just, you know, but I don't think it has to be in writing, I just think that's a practice that
Right.
would be a good thing.
but then there's a chance that the officers will change in January, so.
That's, I mean, yes, but that still means that they can bring those. And if the officers at that time don't want to, if they review any, you know, suggestions, then they could, you know, not vote on that change or policy change at that time, if that was something that they didn't choose to have.
Right. Okay, Article 2, membership. Section 1, board members. Go ahead and read through those on our own.
You know, I know that, did we get, oh, she put these ones in our side, sorry. I'm just looking, so, I'll change that, we won't go through there, but I'll just put the right side out, the holes in the other side. Do we have like the establishing document? I mean, cause that, to really, I mean, not that I think, cause this is probably all protocol from the actual, initial starting of the document, which I know I looked at once upon a time for the agreement between the county and the townships that established it.
Okay, like you mean when it became a district library?
Correct.
I've not
Because
seen
that
that paperwork,
has
but,
the designation of like what, which I'm sure this is the exact same verbiage, I'm not saying, but it,
okay.
because we're supposed to be doing it, to me, I think it's good that we should have it
Compare.
just to make sure.
Okay.
I 100% believe that this is exactly what that document refers to, but since we're being tasked with that, I think that's something that.
So we need to request that from Kara, probably?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm sure this is exactly how that read, because it was 4 from the county and 1 from each remaining participant from Lapeer, Mayfield, and the city of Lapeer, which I'm 99.99%, that's what I read, but it's just good to verify, to say check, check, check.
Right. Yeah,
it's definitely how it is now, but you wanna compare it to the actual documents when it first became a district library.
Right, which I believe it says the same verbiage, but I'm just saying if we're tasked with this, we should double check.
Okay.
Make sure that it's
Our
accurate.
eyes dotted and our T's crossed.
Like I said, because I had read it, before, and I'm sure that it is, but since it's not in front of me,
Okay,
and I'm sure it all says as well that all the terms begin January 1st for all board members.
and then as far as like making any changes, suggestions, or change to that, that's something that's already in the contract, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
something that is in the agreement, so we can't really make any changes, I'm just, that would have to go through litigation.
Right, okay.
That's not just, I believe that would not be a board decision, that was something that was established when it was first brought into being a library, And I think that the term beginning on January 1st is good, and then also, that the board members have to take an oath of office before their term starts. And I like it how it just states that, because they
Right,
could
there was
technically
some-
establish, either,
Yeah, wasn't there some controversy over that, over the,
who gives the oath.
who gives the oath, and if it had to be done
It does,
twice,
actually,
so.
no, because anybody, once you have the oath, you have the oath. You could actually went down to the, county clerk's office and you had the oath as long as you're taking the oath. Anybody,
And as
so
long as it's on
I'm a
file.
notary, so I
Yeah.
could actually have given the oath to someone that's done, and that's, legal to be able to.
Do either of you feel that that should be expanded on and to make it more clear, or just?
No, I think you need to leave it, I like it the way that it is, because then it gives that flexibility to be able to give the oath, or take the oath. Because we'll just say if your family member was a clerk or something, and it's a big deal, so you want them to be able to, give that oath to you, so that's why.
Yeah.
Need to leave it to that.
And then it, the director does need it though,
Yes,
right?
yep.
As far as,
But
but,
it has to be right.
and it doesn't say that, so perhaps we should consider recommending that part be added. And a copy maintained.
Is that in the policies? I haven't been able, since I just got the book, I haven't been able to look at the policies. I don't know if that
So it
is
might already
incorporated.
be there,
It might be there, I don't know.
okay. All right, Article 2, Section 2.
Yeah, and keep in touch, 'cause that's,
Yeah, can't really do any recommendations on that.
no,
I know that my township was surprised by that.
right.
They didn't know that that was the only way to.
And that's the
remove
same
them.
like for a judge,
Mhm.
that the governor has the right to appoint somebody who's a vacancy for a judge as well.
Can we go back to one for a minute? You said something about adding.
Article 2, Section 1?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All board members shall take the oath of office just before commencing their terms, and the oath of office be sent to the director.
But we don't know if that's in the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're two different things.
But as long as it's established in the policy, that is.
Yeah, I did make a note to check.
Because usually when you take the oath of office, it's recorded, otherwise you're not taking the oath, so. And I would imagine that would be something that is in the policies that were received by the floor at the very beginning. By anybody that was appointed to the office. I'm guessing, without, again, I just got this, so
Right.
I haven't been able to review
Yeah.
that. have to, need to double everything up, if it's, in your policies and procedures, then you're fine, so.
Okay, so, right, good to move on? Okay, Article 2, Section 3, vacancy.
The only thing that I don't see, a couple of things where it says, or is convicted of a felony, and it might be in the policies, and procedures, does it mandate that if a board member is convicted of a felony, and again, just because I got this, I feel like I'm kind of, in the backseat a little bit, so I'm sorry. Is it in the policies and procedures that there's a time limit? So like I have, if somebody was to get into an accident or a ticket, that within 48 hours, they are to,
Vacate or?
no, that they need to make sure that the, like in this case, the board chair be aware of that. And it would be that they would have to be, to me, it says convicted of a felony, so it would be on the conviction, not, if they were charged.
Not a charge, right.
But that they should, and it might be in the policies and procedures where it does show that, within, I'm throwing this out, 48 hours of the conviction, that they make the library
I'm
board
saying
chair aware of.
Conviction or charge, because I don't.
It's
You're saying
conviction, because
conviction.
you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right,
so-
that, I thought you were, when you started talking, that you were referring to just someone being charged, so.
You should still let them know that, but, I think it's
Yeah,
really only the
I don't know
conviction.
legally if you could
Right.
require that, but, so maybe we should, instead of going through with ideas and recommendations, maybe we should start with highlighting the things that we want to cross-reference in the policy handbook, because obviously I do not know it front to back either. There's a lot of information in here, so, so I guess we could still move forward. I wish I had brought different, you
I
have
have
two, and so
I can share.
if you wanna highlight and paint
What's
or
that?
make a note. So anything that we wanna cross-reference and look in the policies to see if it's covered, we can,
Right,
make a note of that.
right.
So on mine, I'm just gonna write policy question mark,
Right,
and then I'll know to check that.
right. That's what I'm just doing policy question mark as well, so. The other thing that when I was reading, in the policy, is there a time frame that is a recommended time frame for that position to be filled? I know that it's in the best interest for that municipality, whether the county, the city, the township, to have that voice, but again, I don't know if there's a time frame in the policy, if it's in the policy procedure or not.
Like a timeframe to fill the
That they would
vacancy.
like that to be, they can only recommend, you cannot, I don't believe you can force that municipality to put somebody, but just, as like a recommendation.
Well, it's probably gonna vary from municipality, because like the county has their 60-day,
Right.
their 60-day announcement of the vacancy before they will fill it. If, remember that we had one seat vacant for a while. But I don't know if the other municipalities have any policies like that, if they would be able to just appoint like on a dime, so that would probably vary with
Right.
that municipality.
Yeah, I'm just saying, so even with taking consideration, and it could already be in there, but I mean, you could put that into consideration.
Right, a
That
possible,
if they're,
yeah.
you know, within 90 days of the, or I'd probably say 120 days of the vacancy, because again, we'd have to give the county time to be able to publish that in one of the meetings. So again, just something to look at.
Yeah,
not
possible,
something we have to-
yeah, so possible, consideration to put, if it's not already in the policies,
Right.
to put a time frame of when that vacancy would be filled,
Recommend,
yeah.
of course, but just a recommendation.
Okay. I'm ready when you guys are.
I just have to watch the time too, so, okay.
And if you guys want, we do have the room for the 2 hours, but since Bill and John aren't here, we could maybe just go through,
Yeah.
you know, 1 or 2 pages, or just 1 page, and then whatever, what's your time limit?
Probably at the latest between 4:45, 5 o'clock at the latest.
Okay,
Just because I have
yeah,
a meeting as well,
okay,
so.
all right. Well, what do you think about?
That way we're not too much, I mean, I definitely
'cause
would like to
we're-
get this done, but I
we're
don't
gonna
want
wanna-
to get too much
yeah.
in it, jumping, you know,
Right.
without having everybody's participation.
Right,
I mean, not that everybody has to be here each time,
Yeah.
that doesn't, but.
we're not gonna make every meeting every time.
Right.
But it's kind of, so do you wanna put a stopping point then for today?
Well, let's just see how it goes.
Okay. Are you ready, Carol?
Yes.
To move on to the next one? Okay, so Article 2, Section 4, MMLC.
I am okay with it as written.
Guess the only thing that I would question is,
These are guest readers.
well, it's these glasses that help me out.
Yeah. Make you.
If not, I'd be struggling, I'd be going, okay.
It sounds pretty straightforward. You know,
So
the
it's-
wording in compliance with the MLLC plan of service, so that's, you know, something obviously we don't know off the top of our head. Would make sense, if it would be in there.
So it looks to me when I'm reading this, because I'm getting it wrong, it says the board appoints an individual, so it doesn't have to be necessarily a board member, it could be anybody.
Yep,
But
that's what
it
it sounds
doesn't-
like,
It doesn't have a term, so it doesn't say,
the pleasure of.
right, it doesn't say, so, you know, that this would be somebody that was an annual appointment, or if it's how long, there's
Right.
no term.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I would,
Unless it's in the plan of service, because it says in compliance with,
And I don't,
so I guess that would be another
right,
homework assignment, is to find out.
my
Yeah,
suggestion
to make
would be, since the officer served for a year, that this would be a year position.
It might already be determined, but,
I'm just saying here, I'm not seeing where that is referenced.
yep, you're right, it's not.
is that a document that we have here? Service? I don't know, is that was a
I-
document that we were given in here? Was
I don't know, I
that
would have to.
LC plan of service?
Check and see. Get one of my questions answered right away.
Did, so it looks like it's just that.
Yeah,
I mean-
don't remember seeing it, that.
No, I could read these documents upside down since I had to do it for 25 years when I was presenting mortgage. documents. Haven't done it in 10 years. So that would be the only thing that I would think as far as I would just wanna put term
Right, I did the same term with a question mark.
and review. So if we could get a copy of the I don't know, maybe it's just online that we can review it there.
Very possible, most things are. I highlighted it and put research next to mine, so we can all research that.
Right. Okay.
Well, employees. You didn't see anything in yours, mine,
I didn't.
you didn't get the
As
nice.
well, the
Yeah,
front.
you didn't get the nice sleeves like we did, so.
No, but it has,
It has your
so I
table
think
of
these are just
contents.
policies, so it has
Oh,
all of
okay.
this stuff, so I just went through here.
Yeah,
So I think it's just policies that, I would imagine is what I would have been given.
yeah, and it doesn't seem like something that they would have in a policy handbook, right?
Right, no.
Just in case, one thing we could mark off.
Because I know if I was sitting on or doing something, I'd wanna know like what my term was. If I'm making that commitment, first of all, for that person,
Yeah.
you know, to me, you have to be clear to that person, especially to say you're on here. And maybe it is spelled out, it's just
Yeah.
not here that
I
I.
would be surprised if it's not, but.
Right.
Okay. Everyone good to
Yeah.
move on? All right, Article 2, Section 5, Friends of the Library.
So the way I'm taking it, the Friends of the Library is just a completely separate, like, committee board
They're separate entity as far as,
that is
they're not,
completely separate.
right.
And I know because I read, because when I pulled up some other counties from me, I kind of combined all my stuff, so now I can organize again. I would like to look to see what other counties show as far as how they described their friends of the library,
Okay.
what they put in here. So I don't feel,
Compared to other counties, I'm kind of,
yeah,
I guess
because I have
have,
Clemens here.
oh, okay, yours did that.
Yeah, I pulled a couple of their bylaws from different counties that were, and these were all ones that were district libraries. I didn't pull them, they were
Okay.
district libraries. Some of them didn't have anything on their website, which I was kind of shocked, but.
Well, it seems like a very, unless there's more, like a very vague statement. And I'm trying to think,
And the board encourages the Friends in their advocacy and fundraising endeavors.
Which I
What?
agree.
Yeah, I agree, I definitely agree, but what, isn't it more like a director and staff that interacts with them and, as far as their planning and what, what fundraisers they do?
So this is,
And I know they report, like they have a spot on the agenda to report.
I must flip these over. I don't know if this one's Petoskey, but just they're saying, the Friends of the Library also offers ways for the community members to support the library. This policy does not apply to Friends activities. The Friends of the Library is a separate organization with its own rules and policies. Individuals who wish to volunteer at the Friends book sale or other Friends activities should contact the Friends directly. So does the Friends of the Library have its own set of rules and policies? Do we know?
I do not know. I would imagine they do, but I do not know. And like I said, I don't know that the board
Is there
interacts
Paw or
with them.
Petoskey? Unfortunately, at that interface.
And if not, then maybe this should be something recommended to expand on this a little bit.
I mean, I don't know if, but, what, that part I don't know that much about as far as, is that a suggestion that the board can make, just to make sure that there is their own set of policies and procedures that have been put in place? If they're, because the way that it looks is that if the board does not govern over that, but, it's always good when you're, to make sure that you do have those established.
So you're suggesting to find out if the Friends of the Library have their own set of policies and then if so, I think we should talk about and have discussion when all the committee members are here on possibly expanding that section 5 a little bit.
And I guess.
Because it sounds just really vague to me, I'm like, well, okay,
I guess I'd
we're
have
gonna
to.
encourage them, but what do we actually do to support them,
Right. I guess even the last kind of statement, just even reading that, and I would like to read and maybe do some more and pull some more from others and kind of look a little bit more
Right.
to see what they have, because the one, again, that was either Petoskey or Pawpaw. I wish I had Plymouth being a larger one. But I might just be missing it. I guess I don't see where having a library board member on there being a conflict of interest, because usually on every board, you wanna have a board member on there as on any committee.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's very vague first of all, the board encourages Friends, and then, that it would be a conflict of interest, I'm trying to think of what better way to support them than, beyond a committee
Right.
that,
Well,
that,
Usually first of all, usually any chairperson is usually at least able to be on any board, but to me, it's a positive to have that voice, because then for one, you're kind of having more unified working as one entity, opposed to one doing something and like the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. I could be there could be a better reason that maybe they felt
That we're
that
not
was
thinking
supposed to
of,
be,
yeah.
but
maybe something that happened or something
I'm
that-
not saying that, just to me that, board, we've been on a ton of boards, and I just don't see where it would.
Right,
I mean,
I don't
we have
either.
a conflict of interest policy, but a conflict of interest policy would be if you were, working for a company and actually, voting or getting money from that company that was going to, actually give you money.
Well,
And-
the friends do donate,
Right, they
to the library.
fundraise, right.
they fundraise and they do.
Yeah, but that's not going to that person's, so like,
I'm just wondering
if
if
I
that's
had-
where it comes from, if that's,
but that's kind of, you can't do that for every single thing, you could do that no matter what.
right,
So to me, whether you were on that board or not, that still could be the case. So to me, that's not a plausible reason to say, because to me, it's not a conflict of interest. It might be a concern.
yeah, I don't
But
I
it's-
don't feel like it is either, I'm just saying maybe that's the reason
Right.
it's put on here.
But there's always could be a concern. But
Yeah.
if I'm,
Right,
we'll just say if there's a library board member and, they're not, even in any of the fundraising, they're not getting that money. So to me, that's not a true definition of what a conflict of interest would be.
I completely agree,
Right.
I just don't know if that's the reasoning, like, at maybe some, I don't know, I can't think of every possible scenario, but maybe there was something. But I would like to, table this section until all the committee members are here, because it's very brief, but for those two reasons,
Right.
I feel like it's very vague as far as the board encourages the Friends in their advocacy. What does that mean? And then, like you said, how could it be a conflict of interest? What?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that there can't be a
Sorry,
concern,
sorry.
but there can be a concern whether you're on the board
I keep
or not.
thinking-
But
I bet
all the
I-
answers to Kelly's questions are right here on your website.
Well, we'll figure that out, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, you guys good with, I'd like to revisit everything with these guys too, but, with Bill and John.
Because they probably definitely would
Yeah.
have different thoughts.
Right.
And I will go over, actually, when I pulled those out, I have holes in them because I was gonna put them in a binder, but then I thought you were bringing one, so I didn't. So now I gotta put them back in an orderly fashion, so. More,
You thought it was bringing one, what?
this binder, so that's why I just put holes. I was gonna put them in a binder already, but I didn't wanna already have another binder
Yeah,
today. So
okay.
I didn't need 10 binders in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bag here.
I hear ya.
Library. And I mean, I think it's, good, not that you, have to go by what everybody, but I do think looking at other district libraries and, how they are looking at it, I think is a good, thing.
Yeah, I also found the last major revision, I was able to get, that committee's, their initial recommendations, and then, when they ran it by corporate counsel, how corporate counsel came back and said, this, and this, and just seeing how they, structured their recommendations and stuff like that. I do have it, I will make copies for everybody.
The 2019 one?
Yes. Yep. I was able to get that. Danielle supplied that to me. So I'm gonna suggest a stopping point.
Okay.
I'm looking at the time as far as your schedule. You said 4:30 or 4,
Yeah, like 4:45.
okay, so do you wanna try to get through Article 3,
Yeah, it's just,
and then stop after that. So Article 3, Powers of the Board, Section 1, we'll read through that independently.
I have right after that, the first sentence, the last part of it, and the
The
agreement.
agreement,
What's the agreement?
yeah. Yep, I, like that in my mind too, and I know that there's a lot of leeway, like when we come to the section of, job, like the officers' descriptions, duties. There's a lot of leeway there too, like you can delegate to the director or, so. And I see that's, the first thing here states that.
so I'm taking, and I could be wrong, so it says elected board may exercise any and all of the powers granted by the DLEA. Then it says the District Library Financing Act.
Yeah,
So is the DLEA the District Library Financing Act?
that's a very good question. Good eye. Yeah,
It
because
doesn't
a lot
have
of
to
times,
say
it-
EA, not an F for finance.
right, but a lot of times if they give an acronym of that, then they will
You're supposed to spell it out and then.
spell it out and then have the acronym, right?
Because again, that denotes what, I mean,
Mhm,
if you look what GLTA means, it's got multiple different acronyms.
mhm.
You know, we know what it is here,
Right,
but outside of that, so to me,
Yeah.
that's,
so,
I'm not sure what that is.
yeah, I would,
I'm thinking
I would
it's
think
not the District Library
Yeah.
Financing Act, because
right,
then it's got federal
Yeah, 'cause
mission
it was
law
listing
and
them all
the
out.
agreement.
mhm,
It says the, again, the agreement, what's the agreement? I mean, like,
right. And then
it should say like the business agreement or the, what, you know, Lapeer District Library's financial agreement or whatever.
right, so that should be expanded on, and then, maybe a suggested addition would be to, list out what the DLE is first before the acronym.
Yeah, find out what it is. Cause it should be transparent. You shouldn't have to
Right,
Google it.
yeah. And, yeah, it's,
That's my husband's, just Google it. Killing me.
well, when you Google now, you get AI, well, you get AI first, so if you go strictly by AI, then you just.
And if you Google it,
You're-
you get the one that's paid the most to be on top, so
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
be multiple different things.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that it is definitely pertaining to the library, but, I don't wanna have to guess what the, EA is either.
she's.
Yes, we got it.
Whether it's on the website or not, it doesn't matter, it should be in the Bible.
Right.
Yeah, it should
That's
be.
what I'm saying.
It definitely
I know, but
should
that's
be.
what I'm saying, it
Yeah.
should be in.
Look at Article 1. Article 2.
But it still should be spelled out.
It is.
You mean in here.
In your bylaws, it is.
Oh, yeah, the District Library Statute Act, yeah. It is there, but it's not
Libraries.
listed here.
Oh,
Should it be in each new section though? Possibly. I
Technically,
think it
I
should.
get, it should, it could,
Yeah.
it does not have to be, I missed that, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I did miss that, but yes. No, because it's denoted there, it really doesn't have to. It makes it easier, but it does not have
Yeah.
to be there.
Well, yeah, especially like to, like the public that's looking at it. I think it I don't know how often it is cited in here. Would it be a big deal to suggest the addition of it? I don't think that it would.
Probably not. I mean, that is the way to do it.
Mhm.
And we'll see.
Well, and I guess especially like
It's
because,
only, that's
Because
only
the
the second
next-
time I'm seeing it, if I'm,
yeah,
so
would it be,
it's not that invasive to
it doesn't seem like.
make
would
it
be that.
easier, but
And especially since the same thing that you said, like the next one is so closely.
right.
So I'm still gonna put it, after, it's just, right now, this is all rough suggestions. Anything else on that? Do you feel that's enough to have in that? If permitted by law. Should we know if it's permitted by law?
I think you're gonna have to look, depending on what it is, and it could be something different, that's why you'd have to do research.
Anything else on that? Okay. Article 3, Section 2, fiscal year.
Everything was like.
Yeah, I'm good with that one. All right, ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, Article 3, Section 3, budget and audit. I don't have anything to add or adjust.
Is I guess the one question that I have, is it done on a annual basis? Do you know as far as, is it done on calendar year or, so I know, because we have to follow MDOT, so MDOT is October to September, but then we have other things that are done on calendar year, like as far as benefits. So I
Okay.
didn't know if, as far as the financial, if it's done on a calendar year.
Okay, well, we can find out, and then do you think that should be added to that? Whatever we find out?
It would, I mean, because up above it, it's like,
Fiscal year, yeah.
just shows. I mean,
Just
and that's
maybe
probably
just
for
add-
everything,
Uh-huh,
but I just am questioning just because we have two separate ones, just to find out. Like our benefit
Okay.
year is not,
the board shall prepare and make available an annual budget and shall obtain an annual audit by independent certified. Yeah, that would indicate to me
a lot of times.
once a year.
Yeah, it's always once a year, but like our audit, so we do our audit, well, everybody does it a little differently, and when MDOT is required, it's all required by March. So it's, kind of different, but I would imagine this is done just on the same as January, I just don't know for sure, so it's just.
We just discussed that at our last meeting.
Yeah,
And
and
the
there
audit
was-
result, the audit result. So that's been done in May or April.
And there was There was an extension of the audit too, like last year, I believe it was. That they extended the deadline. I don't remember the reason, but. So we'll look into those two things. Or look into, your question is it a
I just-
calendar year, fiscal
For the
year,
fiscal-
and,
Yeah, the fiscal year, and it does show the annual period is January to December 31st. So I just because again, ours is different, so I would assume most people are not, or most, organizations are. And probably everything runs on the same.
yeah, the same.
So I would imagine that
Business.
should probably be fine. I was just asking to
Yeah,
get information, familiarize myself pretty much.
okay.
But is there a set time that the audit has to be presented to the board though?
No, I do not.
Without, if they could always provide an extension, but usually it's like, I would say March of the following year since it's January to December. That's a question that we could find out, with the finance committee to see.
That'll be easy to find out. So other than that, anything else? We're reading Okay, moving on to Article 3, Section 4, Fiduciary Application. Any thoughts on that?
I would say since the meeting, that was this point, since 10 a.m., notifying no later than 10 a.m. should probably be changed.
Yeah, you're right, yep.
I don't know if having a time on there is really, because for one, we could say that they, board members are expected to know, or to attend. It's not like you can make it mandatory. I think, to me, the wording should be a little bit different, with that. I just, to say that it's highly recommended that all the board members are expected to, or, all board members are highly recommended to attend. And any expected absence should be, board members should notify the library director, as soon as possible.
Because the time, like you said, the meeting time has changed and, moving forward in the future, that could happen again.
Exactly, that's why.
So putting
What
the,
times in
yeah,
there.
putting the time on it. And then,
Because if you gotta change your bylaws every time for your out.
right,
Because if your meeting was at 9 o'clock,
right.
then, or,
So we currently have a situation where there's a board member that hasn't attended. And I know it's either, you could put absence or excused.
right,
But what I don't know is what happens if he keeps being absent. Like, what is the,
well, there really isn't any recourse, other than the governor removing that person, which isn't gonna happen just because of somebody being absent.
right.
Because to me, the governor's gonna, I can't speak for the governor, but I would say
Come on,
the
Ken.
governor would just say, well, that township should be enforcing it with that, or city or county should be enforcing it with that board member, because then that municipality is losing that voice.
Right, right.
So, you know, it goes back to that municipality, so I can't see, I wouldn't think that that is what a governor would use as pulling somebody out of it.
Right.
But
Right.
I think it's good to establish that it is, you know, there's a definite importance on being at the meetings. Because that's what everybody has done. It's when you took that oath, as you said, I want to be on there, so it's an important
Yeah,
position to be
Right.
there, not to take it willy-nilly.
Yeah. and when things come up in this situation, it's definitely, it's definitely an excusable, reason for not being there. But I just brought it up because I'm just wondering, I've seen at city meetings, they actually, if somebody's absent, they will say, it's like a motion, a vote to say, motion to excuse Commissioner so-and-so, he's not there. So they actually address it at the board meeting. Do you excuse this board member? And so, I don't
think
know
the board
what-
has that control to
Well, that's- I'm
excuse that person.
just saying that's what they do. I'm just saying, so is there reasoning behind saying this is excused as opposed to this person is
I
absent?
think it just shows, kind of your attendance,
Mhm.
and it shows it also to the municipality.
That put you
because-
in
Yeah, that
there.
you're
So
there.
it's just
or
kind
you're
of
not
like
there.
a
I think it's a
check
good,
yourself kind of thing. So the wording.
because if the municipality ever wanted to get that attendance record, they could get that attendance record.
Mhm.
Which I think is good, because again, they're putting that person on there to sit on that and to be at those boards.
And it could influence their decision to reappoint or
That person
appoint
or
someone
not
else.
to,
Yeah.
exactly.
So the wording of board members are expected to notify, you're suggesting changing that is highly recommended.
I would just, well,
And is there a difference? Or
right,
I mean, at the end of the day, if it's just a record keeping item,
My feeling is, I'm fine with expected to act ethically, participate, attend meetings, but definitely not 10 a.m.
the time change,
I
I
guess,
guess,
omitted.
I would agree with that. And even I know that, the time change or if there's a deadline, but we all know it's not always possible, no matter what, there's
but
some,
you could
there's
always just say prior to the meeting, start of the meeting,
as,
because then if the
um,
meeting time changes, then you're not
right.
having to change the bylaws.
Even as soon as possible kind of covers that, but then it says, but no later than.
Right, or if they send an email, because, sometimes somebody might have to just send an email that I'm, not able to, and if it was, like date stamp before, then they could be listed as excused opposed to absent. But again, to me, I think it should be that you're either attending, you're absent, or you're excused. But still, when you have a ton of excused, you're still not attending the meeting. But I think that's good for them, and it's
good for
record
them to know.
keeping to show that municipality that even though it's excused, that person is still not showing up to participate, to be that voice that they want to be.
Right, yeah, I agree with you. I'm just wondering if stopping at as soon as possible is enough. But no late and just not having a deadline. I mean, I'm just saying things happen. Things can happen last minute and you could not be there. And so what is
But then
I
you would be,
mean-
if you didn't notify before, I think if you, changed instead of the time, to the start of the meeting, again, it wouldn't matter what time the meeting was, at least that person would do it before the meeting time, whether it's by phone, whether it's by email,
right?
and that way they would show as excused opposed to absent. If they didn't show, then they would just be absent.
and change the, I was gonna say expected absence to excused absence, but never mind. So we're talking about taking as soon as possible out.
So no,
Before the meeting.
I'm suggesting, or just ending it with that,
Just
as soon as possible. I mean, if you know 2 weeks that you're not gonna be there, then that's
Right.
as soon as possible. But if I have a flat tire on the way to the meeting, I have a phone call to, that's as soon as possible for me.
Right.
I'm just saying it doesn't seem like I should be there.
Right.
I mean, it seems like as soon as possible covers it.
Yeah.
So,
I know the boys
The
are
only-
only in and change all that.
the only
Oh,
thing
this
is, it does
discussion.
say the library director, but in lieu that, like right now, there's not a library director, who do they,
Call Carol.
right,
Assistant director.
Right. Well,
but you
I
could,
think
that could be
Or the
added as
chair.
far as like the,
and we
I
could,
don't know if they're called like management staff or.
there's business manager.
Right. Is that the heavy, is the business manager?
Well, Kara's assistant tech,
Director.
she's assistant technical director,
I think I would say and or,
assistant
yeah,
director.
because in that way it gives you a couple of different, if for some reason the library director is.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
for one, the library director could be on vacation.
Right.
You know, things could happen and again, things could happen last minute.
right. Story. Last minute.
I think you'd be on there. So that's late for my own funeral. So,
Well, why don't we end there?
Quit.
Because yeah, because that's a good stopping point. We're through Article 3. And gives us a lot of, enough stuff, I think, to research and look up and cover with the other two guys.
Right.
Thank you.
So you are going to be able to get, so one thing I think we do need to find out, and you're probably gonna have to do that, Peggy, is find out what the agreement is. And then what was the other form?
Well, I had,
Oh, just to see if the MMLC plan of service, if it's on, just on the website, if there's a written version, or if it's just on the website. See, like in this paragraph, it does show like it says Mid-Eastern Michigan Library Cooperative. And so there's multiple times in that paragraph, but because it's in the paragraph, it's easy to say, yeah, that's what that is. And again, that is how you're supposed to do it technically, but I
Yeah.
just think it makes it easier as you're going through, because I don't see it anywhere else.
yeah, I guess I would, if it was in the same article, but then when you're going to a different article, I think it should be spelled out too, whether technically that's the right way. It's adding 4 words to the bylaws, and it would make it easier for anybody from the public that maybe is going on and just wants to research a certain section. They're not, maybe they don't want to
Any
go
new
through the whole
board
thing.
member that isn't as familiar, I think that just, if that's, your goal is to help them out, I'm all for, I know I'm kind of like over exaggerated on that, I'm all for spelling that out so that there's no question.
I am too.
So,
Yeah.
I know that's hard to just leave.
We may find that about other things too as we go on, that they're just spelled out one time and then mentioned in another, and if it's.
And like I said, like, so section 4, it's, done that way, but to me, it should be, it's spelled out in the paragraph, but I guess it should be also at the very beginning is actually how it's supposed to be done. So on section 4, I think it should state that up there, up the Mid-East Michigan, and not just the MMLC at the very beginning.
Here? Read upside down. Testing you on that now.
Section 4, right here, yep, see, I didn't have my glasses
Oh,
on.
yeah,
So it is
Yep.
in here,
yeah,
which that is, but it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, like here where it's established in the front.
uh-huh,
I would just say that should be up here, and then that could be, changed if
that's just. That's
And I
maybe what this
understand there's
section is.
people, when you work with it every single day, I mean, I could give you acronyms every single day, because
Right.
Transit loves acronyms,
Yeah,
but people aren't gonna be able to understand it, and neither are my board, so to me,
Right.
that's who I have to make sure understands.
right, and like I said, members of the public that are going on and looking at bylaws, maybe they just they're looking at one thing. And, well, it was mentioned back here in Article 1, but they wanna know, they're only looking at Article 4 or 5. And, if it's not spelled out, not just that one, but any acronym, it's not spelled out each time, at least when it's a new article. So, that's my thought on that.
Let's see this just for a minute. So you're saying this should be here and you can use the initials down here.
Will you put-
Switch the place.
If you put like up here, Mid-Eastern,
You can-
primary cooperative here, and then put in parentheses, just like up here,
and then-
the MMLC, then through the paragraph, you're like, it's like right here, so it's easy to reference. So, I mean, because in a paragraph like that, you don't wanna be redundant, I mean, that would make that paragraph almost double the size, just because it's so big, but,
Right, right.
so.
Okay.
So then you're gonna find out when, the next dates are for the opening for the room.
Mhm. And then we'll do the same as you did with
Beautiful.
the doodle, and then I will make sure that we are doing the post, since we're gonna be, the dates are gonna be switching back and forth. We'll need to make sure that we're doing the notice correctly.
And we might, I don't know, I mean, it might come to, but the room might not be open either.
Right,
So
well, what I was
there
gonna
could
do
be-
is if this was good for everybody, I was gonna ask Kara to go ahead and,
Block that off.
block it off for,
And maybe,
maybe
that could
3 or
be,
4 months.
so I would maybe verify that, and maybe that's something that we could all look and, then that way it might be like 1 or 2 that it couldn't happen, and then we could establish it from there.
Yeah.
It would be nicer just to have it on set time
Yeah, it would,
for frequency.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah. So maybe we just,
What's the latest here?
I think 7, I think they close at 7:30 for the room. That would be the latest. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's been kind of gloomy this afternoon.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's something.
Is it?
Ah,
recuperating from the fair.
I worked the first day, so I got my one and done.
No, we do the shuttle for the fair.
Oh, that's right.
On Friday and Saturday,
Oh,
both
okay.
till 1:30 in the morning.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right now. See you later.
All right.
Thank you for your work.
Oh, sorry, I love your top, that was so pretty.
Oh, thank you. They had a couple left at J. Jill and I grabbed. She was fast.
Where's Kelsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, she,
15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.